Hello, this is Michel Leviathan Sorbet and you're watching a new episode of Wojennik TV. Have you ever wondered what lies at the ocean's bed? Have you ever wondered what would happen if humans constructed a mining facility at the ocean's bottom? Today, thanks to a game published by Diemension Games, you can find the answers to those questions. Deep Madness is a sci-fi horror game for 1 to 6 players, during which you will take the role of an explorer trying to find out what happened to the mining facility of Kadath, which lies at the ocean's bottom. So this will not be a pleasant journey, this will not be a tourist trip, this will be a terrifying trip in a mining dark facility full of terrifying creatures. This is the setting of Deep Madness by Diemension Games, which was launched and published thanks to 2 consecutive Kickstarter campaigns. The first campaign was launched and achieved a huge success in 2018. The game was published, raising nearly $1,438,000. The second campaign, which ended in 2019 and helped to publish the second edition of this game, closed with nearly $840,000. So both campaigns were huge successes and they enabled to publish the game with a lot of additional stretch goals, with a lot of high quality components. The game itself was designed by Roger Howe. It is a game for 1 to 6 players, so it will be a cooperative game. It is for players aged 14 or higher, but I have also seen some information about 16 or higher due to its theme, due to its horror style. And the time of play is somewhere from 60 to 120 minutes, depending on the scenario played. Today I would like to show you the unboxing of this title. This will be unboxing of the second edition, and I would like to take a look at all the gorgeous elements enclosed in this very heavy box, which I am holding right now, and which will be something very interesting to look at. So let's begin. Here is the core box of Deep Madness. A fantastic, very evocative box cover, very climatic and so dark. I really love the artwork used both on this cover as on the other elements in this game. We have also the logo of Diemension Games, Jelly Cube, and an information that this is a sci-fi horror game for 1 to 6 players. On the back side of this huge and heavy box, we have the possibility to read about the setting, about what the game is all about. So here we have a description. We have also some additional very dark artwork and the impressive list of all the components which are enclosed inside. This game is for players from 14 years or higher, and it is supposed to be played in 90 to 120 minutes by 1 to 6 players. Let's open this big box. The first element, which is at the top of the inside of the box, is the rule book. As you can see, also with the fantastic artwork on the rules cover. It is 56 pages long, and it will first of all include an introduction, a game overview, then the impressive list of components. Here you see all of them in detail. Then we receive also info about the setup, about the different mechanics, about the different phases, etc. Also some information about the scenarios which are in this game. This rulebook is on a paper of high quality, as you can see, in color, with some graphic examples. The font is also a nice one. It is very clear to be read. So at first glance, this rulebook seems to be very nicely done. I will be able to tell you more about it during a future review. Then, what every Kickstarter backer loves, the miniatures. And as you can see, we receive quite a lot of them. First of all, we receive the grey miniatures, which represent all the horrors, all the terrifying monsters that will appear in our mind, in our games. And look at that. This is so detailed, so impressive. I love the way that those miniatures were done. They are extremely detailed. As you can see, all of them are very climatic, and at the same time they are very different one from another. So just take a look at all those monsters that you will be facing. Just looking at them makes me scared. Of course, we receive also our heroes miniatures. So for instance, the first one is here. We will receive 6 of those, each with a different set of equipment, with a different capability. But our main objective will be, of course, to cooperate and to survive. And those miniatures, as well as the miniatures representing all the horrors, all the monsters, are very, very detailed. So each of you who likes to paint their minis will be delighted. This is one of the reasons why some people back all those Kickstarter projects with dozens of miniatures, because when painted, they are absolutely gorgeous. I have seen Deep Madness miniatures painted, and believe me, they look fantastic. So they are so extremely detailed and of a high quality, because I think that the material used is a good one, that the possibility to even further make them prettier is a thing that some fans, some people who like to paint minis will jump onto. Other elements included in the box are, for instance, the different tokens or different objects which will be used during the game, both in order to track some information as in order to place some elements on the map tiles. And they are, as you can see, pretty sturdy. We get 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets of additional counters, so really a lot of them. Those map elements, as you can see, are of 2 types. First of all, we receive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 square tiles of a larger type, and they represent the different parts of the base in which the game will be taking place. But those are not the only terrain tiles. We receive some additional ones, this time smaller rectangular tiles, but look at the number of them. This is pretty impressive. Let's take a look at some of them. All of them have, as you can see, an information and also a fantastic artwork. So those will be the different chambers, the different tunnels or rooms in which the action will be taking place in this game. Very dark, as you can see. No sun in this game, no sunlight in this game. We will be deep beneath the ocean surface. And as you can see, some of those rooms are enlightened with artificial light, but most of them will be dark or even covered by some terrifying elements. We receive some additional elements which will be used during the game in order to put the miniatures into. Those will be the black stands, which will be used for the grey monsters, but the heroes will receive their own unique stands in 6 different colors, as you can see. Those colors are blue, light blue, green, yellow, red and violet, or pink if you prefer. This is something between purple and pink. Then we receive also some dice. We receive 9 red dice and 1 black one with some terrifying symbols on it. The red ones will be pretty standard, so they will be 6-sided die, but on the 6 and on the 5, if I can see correct, there will be some symbols which will probably mean something more during the game. We receive 2 types of cards. We receive small cards, as you can see. Each of those cards will represent one of the heroes, but also the monsters which we will be facing, with some additional information. So, for instance, agony, hysteria, or husk, or even delirium. So they will be represented on those small cards. Bathophobia, terrifying. Some additional information. Those will be used in as I see, in accordance with the numbers printed on the tiles. So maybe they will be used to add additional elements to the map. The bigger cards are representing, for instance, equipment. So we get utility knives, we get crowbars, or grapplers, or maybe axes, and a lot of different stuff which will be used to fight those terrifying monsters and to try to survive. And some additional cards which will be maybe action cards for the monsters or story elements. I do not know at the moment. The second deck will also include those cards. Those cards are pretty thick, I'd say maybe a little too thick, but with a shining surface. Maybe you should consider sleeving them in order to protect them from heavy play. We receive also some bigger cards, as you can see, quite a few of them, with the information about the different monsters. For instance, here we have the Mind Eater with some additional capabilities, some info about its stats, and here also a game aid card showing you how the game round will look like. But that's not the end. We also receive an additional box with some additional miniatures, and those will be the big ones, so the big terrifying monsters found in the most terrifying places in our subconsciousness. So here you have, for instance, one of them. Again, very impressive, very detailed, with some fantastic elements, some additional hands, some terrifying teeth. Yes. And some additional ones. As you can see here, you have one over with 2 heads, with some wings, terrifying spawns. So this will be one of the major opponents, and something that I absolutely wouldn't like to see in any of my dreams, not speaking of the real world. Here is the last one, very big and at the same time very terrifying, also with some big with a big head, small eyes, and looking just like Big Jabba who ate something very terrifying for his breakfast. And those are the last elements enclosed in this big box. Now let's pass to a conclusion. Deep Madness is a game that I really wanted to try, and for several reasons. The first one is its setting, is its theme. I like really dark topics, I like really dark themes, and this one is an exceptional thing, because the idea of setting the game at the sea's bottom is really exciting, is something that I have not seen up until now. So this claustrophobic feeling, the corridors filled with monsters which are our own projections, is something very exciting. The second aspect is the fact that this game is a cooperative game which is suitable for solo play. So I really like such games. I'm a huge fan of solo games, but I will be giving this a shot not only solo but also in a larger group. So the game is something that I really wanted to try because also of the high quality of the elements. As you might have seen, those elements are really gorgeous. The miniatures, so detailed, so pretty and so terrifying at the same time. So those components will really build the climate of the game, and I'm really excited to give it a try. I will give you my final verdict about this title during a future review, but up until then I will just play several games, maybe play through the entire campaign in order to see how the story ends. This was the unboxing of Deep Madness from Diemension Games. I invite you to look at our other videos. We have some reviews, we have some other unboxings. Take also a look at our Facebook and Instagram account. Have a fantastic day and see you next time.